All right, so this is completing the square, which is a method for solving quadratics. I never actually use it for solving quadratics, but it is important to know because it comes in later when we transform standard form into vertex form, which is kind of like vertex form for a quadratic is like slope-intercept. It's a better form for graphing. So anyways, what we're going to do first is we're going to move this constant term to the other side. We're just shoving it over to the other side so that it's not in the way. So we're going to have 2x squared plus 12x equals -4. And then we're going to factor off a. And I noticed in the problems on your test that all of these would be like even. That's because we're just factoring off a. We want that x squared to become, have no coefficient. So this will be x squared plus 6x equals -4. Now we're going to actually complete the square. So that's when we take this and we complete it. We make it a perfect square trinomial. So that means that we need to add half of b squared. So that's the number we need to complete this square. So here, half of b is going to be 3, half of 6 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So we need 9. So we're going to add a 9 inside. X squared plus 6x plus 9. Now this is a perfect square trinomial. Equals -4. But we can't just throw a 9 in there. If I'm adding 9 in here, I also need to add it to the other side. And this 9 is actually being multiplied by 2. See, because there's the 2 being out here implies that it was also taken from the 9. So that means the number I add to the other side is this 9 times 2. So 18. Then this is going to factor to be x something squared. Now, in the case that you get confused on what number to put in here, it's going to be that b cut in half. So half of b is 3. X plus 3 squared equals, and then -4 plus 18 is 14. And then we're just going to continue solving. So divide both sides by 2. X plus 3 squared equals 7. And here, I'm going to write this over here. Okay. And then square root both sides. So we're going to rad both sides, and that takes off this exponent. So we'll have, I don't even need the parentheses, x plus 3 equals rad 7. Okay. We're just going to leave that like that, plus or minus, because square roots, a positive or negative version of that number can make a +7. And then we'll finish this by subtracting 3 from both sides. So x equals positive or negative square root of 7 minus 3. Some teachers will write this number first, so you could also see the answer as -3 plus or minus rad 7. Okay, so now let me do this problem from your test. So we're going to move the 60. You might see this and think, oh, I need to factor out 5, but go through this process, okay? Because we're not going to factor 5 out from 60. We're going to move it to the other side. So we'll have 5x squared plus 20x equals 60, positive 60. Then 5x squared plus 4x equals 60. And then the number here that I need is going to be 4. Here, I'm going to put this here. B cut in half squared is 4 divided by 2 squared, which is 4. Just so that way you can see in your notes, this is the process to get the number we add in here. So now we have 5 parentheses x squared plus 4x plus 4. This quadratic in here is now fixed. It's a completed square equals 60. And then to add this 4 in here, the number we used, or the number we're going to add to the other side to balance the equation, is 4 times 5. So we're going to add 20. 4 times 5. And then we have 5. This is going to simplify to x plus 2 squared. This part, this is why you're learning this, to be able to reduce a trinomial into x plus or minus something squared, equals 80. Okay, and then divide both sides by 5. So x plus 2 squared equals, divided by 5, 16, right? Yes, and then square root both sides, so it becomes x plus 2 equals positive or negative root of 16, which is 4. So when we subtract 2 from both sides, our answer will be x equals positive or negative 4 minus 2. Now, if you get a radical that you can work out like this, like turn it into 4, then you're going to be expected to work out both answers. So that means that x is going to equal positive 4 minus 2, and x is also going to equal negative 4 minus 2. So the x values are 2 and negative 6. Okay? End.